everyone. My name's Emily Cuevas, and I'm with the Adult Learning Center at Mesa County Public Library. And today, we're so happy to have you with us for part of our Culture Fest series. I'm joined with our guest, Claudie, but I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to let her take it away. So, Claudie, first, tell us your name and where you're from.
Okay, so my name is Claudie Bertin, and I come from France, like you can guess with my big accent, French accent, but it's okay. And I arrived in US almost 18 months ago, and I arrived in Grand Junction with my boyfriend, who is my husband now, and that seems to work. We lived 6 years in France. But France were too small for Dell, and so we decided to try in US, and it's a big change.
I see you brought some maps with you.
Yeah, I wanted to show where I come from. So I come from the region of Bretagne. I was born in, we have a river named La Loire, and I was born in Nantes, and I went to school in Nantes up to 18, and for the university I moved in a place at the seaside here that named Saint-Nazaire, and after I found a job in Saint-Nazaire. And I lived in a little town that named Pornichet, and this town is at the seaside.
Wow, is this over here also?
Yeah, that I brought that because it's a map of Brittany. Okay. Because in France there is a big history with Brittany, because it was a country a long, long time ago, before US exist. And I just wanted to speak about my region because I'm proud to come from Brittany, like you can be proud to be from Colorado or from Louisiana or something like that. So, and we have a special influence from the Celt People. So, and in US, you have a lot of people, they come from Ireland or Scotland. And so we have some part in commune, I can say that. Okay, so it's why I wanted to speak about that.
And thanks for bringing those.
So, and I brought some, so that is the flag of Brittany, and that it's a specialty from my region, it's crepes. It's a dessert, but we make also different crepe because we have the crepes with wheat, and we also eat crepes with bulk wheat. And that is for dessert, and for the bulk week is to eat with ham, cheese, and eggs, something like that. And it's like a meal for you. It's not a dessert.
They smell amazing. I'm sitting here just like taking it in. It smells so good. And then this is what you make them on.
Yeah. For instance, because I don't have the machine, but I do in a pan. But yes, I'm going to bring back. We name that bilic in French, and but it's not in French. I think it's in Breton language. Because before the Breton, they had their own language, and since I can say about 15, 20 years, that come back in fashion to learn Breton.
Okay, wow. Let's see, Claudie, what else would you like to share with us about your country?
Yeah, it's my my belonging. I don't know if I am.
That's where you belong.
Yeah, belong to Brittany, and yes, to be proud of, to say I come from this region.
What do you think we should know about France?
It's a small country to compare to US. So, and the mentality of the French people is very different of the mentality of the American people, because we are so close. Here it's very different. You have a big place. And in France, France is less big than Texas. So you can imagine. So, and in the north and in the south or west of or east, we have a completely different landscape. And before I arrived, I heard the people from here to say, "Oh, it's not far; it's just 4 hours." But for us, 4-hour drive, it's a long way.
Tell us about your experience with World War II and maybe the French attitude, your attitude.
Okay, so Brittany is just under Normandy. So it's where the American, the Canadian land for the World War II. And with my husband, we visit, just before coming in US, we spent 1 week to visit Normandy and see about the beach and the cemetery where there is some American soldiers. And it was very interesting. And we have a town in Normandy, because I think the people from US, they know Normandy because of the World War II. And there is a town that named Caen. And there is a very big and very interesting museum in Caen about the war and all the country which participate to the war. And if you go one time in France, you have to go in Normandy and take a tour to visit all the beach, and it's very interesting.
Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see, Claudie, tell us about what it was like being a child in your country. What is the education system like?
Oh, the education is very different than here, and I think, for what my experience, I think your education is more permissive, I can say that, than us. We have in France, we have more rules. And because I learn in the library, and for example, in the class, it's more strict. The people, they cannot go out to go to the toilets when you have a lesson. They have to wait. We cannot listen to music. I think we are. French education is more strict. And I don't know, but what I've seen with high school GED, we have more different learning. We learn history, we learn geography, we learn philosophy, science, mathematics, physics, chemical. So I think we have more lesson, and I think we have. It's a long time I went to school, but up to the university, our education is more general than yours, I think. But I don't criticize. I just say the difference with you and us.
No, it's cool hearing your perspective, because cultures all over the world do it differently, and it's just it's nice hearing that.
But we have a new minister for the education in France since a few months. And each time you have a new minister, that change. And I know that will change next year for the people, because we have an exam, the equivalent of your GED, named baccalaureate in France. But if you go regularly to school, you have your baccalaureate at 18. Okay. And yes, normally when you arrive, we have when you are up to 3, I think, you go to the Maternelle, where you learn, you play with the other children, and it's like you are very small. And after you have elementary school for 5 years, and at the beginning of this elementary school, it's where you learn to speak and to read and to write. And after we have another, it's general, and when you go to the what we name Seconde, you have to choose if you want to be more. You want to have more literature or more mathematics or more science like physics, chemistry, or something like that.
What did you choose?
Science. And but it was completely different because I'm old now. So and that changed, and there is a new reform, I can say that, for the next year. And I know the children, they have to choose more. For example, if you want to become a lawyer, before me, I had to go to the university, and I study to become a lawyer at this time. But now you have to choose when you go to first class, and they give a specialty to have to study more about what you want to become. So I don't know. It will be difficult for the children, because when you have 14 or 15, sometimes you don't know what you want to do.
Yeah. Claudie, what in Mesa County, if anything, feels like home?
I'm sorry, but it will never be my home. But I was very welcome, and the people, I think the American people, they are more, at the first time, they are more friendly than French people. So it was easy to arrive, and when a few weeks after I arrived, I've heard about the library, and I was very welcome at the library. So that helped me a lot.
Wow, that's great to hear. How has the library supported or celebrated your culture?
Oh, but last year I participated to the Culture Fest, and I met a lot of people. They spoke French. They were not French, but they tried to learn, or they spoke French. And I also met a guy. His parents were French, and he was American because he was born in US, but he was speaking French. So we met after the Culture Fest to eat together, but after the COVID arrived, and we don't have any more relation. But I hope we will see again. It was a great time.
What are libraries like in France?
We have, in my little town, we have a library, and I was using it to borrow books or music. But I don't think we have, they can teach like your program here. I don't think we can learn another language in the library. We have more different associations where you can go to learn French when you come from another country, but not at the library. The library, it's more for the culture, for reading, for they have activity for like you have for the baby or young children with story, and they try to invite author or people to share story or a book or something like that.
In your words, what does the word culture mean to you?
It's like your identity, because, for example, I'm proud to be from Brittany, and I like to share my my food or my, you see that come, it's like we are Breton, so the straight, is that?
The stripes,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a typical pullover from Brittany, so I'm proud of that.
It's very fashionable. I like it a lot. How does your culture help to define your identity?
With the history of the people from Brittany, and for example, in this moment, France, they reorganize like you have your county and your state. But we are smaller, so we have the town, we have the what we name department. It's almost your county, and we have a region. Region, it's several departments, and there is a big deal with because I was born in Nantes here, and we have the region in orange here. It's Pays de Loire, and in pink it's Bretagne, but a lot of history from Brittany were done with Nantes. So there is a reorganization now to make bigger region, and there is a debate to know if Nantes will be in Brittany or in another region will be around here. But there is a lot of people from Nantes, they defend Nantes and they want to be a part of the Bretagne, because we have a castle in Nantes, and this castle, we have a girl that she names Anne de Bretagne, and she was married to Henri IV, and we have like a pact. It was named Edit de Nantes, and it was signed in the castle of Nantes. So, and the polemic, I can say that, it's from Nantes to not to be a part of Bretagne or to be or not to be a part of Bretagne, because now we are in the region Pays de Loire, and we are not in the Bretagne.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with us about you or about France?
Oh, well, I miss France because I miss my family and my friend, because I had a lot of friends in France. But I enjoy the mountain, and so I try not to think too much about what I miss in France, except my family. But now it's good with new technology. I can call my mom every day with WhatsApp, and my brother, so it's okay. I see my friend too. I think it was more difficult 20 years ago, because you have to write a letter, wait 1 month or 2 months to have an answer. So now with the new technology, it's easier. But what is bad, it's the new virus we have, and it's difficult. I should go back to France, but I'm not sure I'm going to go back this year. And what I want to tell you, it's I did those crepes for you, so you are welcome to taste them if you want.
I would be more than happy to. Maybe our cameraman will get in here too and get some crepes as well.
Yes, I'm there.
Crepes for everyone. Thank you, Claudie, so much. Claudie, thank you so much for joining us for this interview. It's been such a pleasure to have you, and we're really fortunate to have you with our library and to continue the relationship. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.